Hello. So this is a little bonus video. When we were reading chapter 11, Beggar in the Hall, on page 76, there was this moment where a dog appears. The dog's name is Argos, and that dog is Odysseus's pet. Odysseus raised this dog, and the dog is now very old. Right? Odysseus has been gone for almost 20 years. So this dog has been waiting faithfully for his master to return home for all of this time. And our book doesn't give all of the wonderful sort of very sad poetic details of this. So, but it's on page 76 in our book. I wanted to read a little bit from, this is the Mandelbaum translation of the Odyssey, and this would be on it starts on page 346. It's in Book XVII, XVII, which is like a chapter, right, in the epic. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to start right down here, all right? And again, you see how it's in stanzas, right, because it's poetry. So we're going to read. It starts here, and it carries all the way over to the next page. So I'm going to read this poetic excerpt from the longer epic. April is National Poetry Month, after all, and it's just such a sweet, sad, and human detail. I think it's easy to get lost sometimes in these myths and think that they're so far away from us and they're so old, and what do they have to do with us now? But this moment is so humanizing for Odysseus, and obviously if you have a pet, or if you've ever had a pet, you know the emotional connection that you have with your animals, and how that is such a human relationship in so many ways. So let's read this little bit about Argos, the faithful dog. These words were spoken by the beggar and the swineherd. Just then, a dog that lay there raised his head, pricked up his ears. A hound that he himself, the brave Odysseus, long ago had bred, but had never enjoyed, for he'd left for Ilion too soon. Ilion is Troy. That dog was Argos. When he was grown, young men would take that hound to track wild goats and deer and hares, but now, his master long since gone, he lay unwanted in the deep dung of mules and oxen heaped outside the doors, until Odysseus's servants removed those piles to fatten his wide fields. There, Argos, flea-infested, lay. And when he saw Odysseus standing near, he wagged his tail and drooped his ears. But when he tried to move, he lacked the strength. It was no use. Odysseus saw it all. He turned aside and wiped a salt tear from his eyes. To hide that gesture from the swineherd was not hard. That done, he asked at once, I wonder why this dog was left to lie on heaps of dung. His shape is fine, but I can't tell if he has speed of foot to match his handsome body, or was he like those table dogs men keep only for show, dogs bred for luxury? Swineherd Eumaeus, this was your reply. He is indeed the dog of one who died far from his own dear land. If you could see this hound with all the strength and grace that he once had, when Lord Odysseus left for Troy, you'd be astonished by his force and speed. When he was chasing game, there was no beast within the deep woods' dens who could escape. He never lost the scent of those he tracked. But now, he's set aside. His lord has died, so far away. The women here don't tend or care for him. When no one can command, when they're without a master, servants lose the will to work. The Lord of Thunder, Zeus, takes half the worth of any man away as soon as he's reduced to servitude. That said, he went into the handsome house. He joined the noble suitors in the hall. But Argos, just as soon as he had seen his master after 19 years, fell prey to death's dark fate. So the dog dies, right? He's waited 19 years to be reunited. He's sick, he's old, he's lying in a pile of dung, which is a pile of poo, and he recognizes his master's voice, even though his master is in disguise. And he, wags his tail against the ground and picks up his head. And then finally, knowing that his master has returned home, he can stop guarding the palace and give himself over to the eternal rest. So it's just this very sad, beautiful human moment in the story. And again, reinforces, how amazing this dog was, right? Because he was Odysseus's dog. So such a great dog. No one could catch him. He was the fastest. Again, like dog, or like master, like dog. So thanks for listening.